Alright, in this video, I want to talk about this fella right here, Bill Gates. Now, I remember a few years ago, as it says here about 2007, there was a presentation given about this inoculation. I gotta use a certain word, so inoculation that would actually affect fundamentalist religious folk. The video was saying that this inoculation was directed toward fundamentalist Muslims. But in the presentation, it was showing that it would just affect everybody, everybody and their uh, religious beliefs. It basically killed the idea of God in your mind, and I thought that was interesting because what is Gates doing now? He's promoting a inoculation, and he wants everybody to get it. And it just makes you think: does it have anything to do with this inoculation that he was developing years ago? I don't know. It's definitely something to think about, and I'm going to give you a few reasons why you ought to think about it. And that's because Gates has also come out talking about this certain chip that could either be on the skin or implanted that, as described here, would be fed and detect your heat and other such things going on with your brain activity and your heart rate and other such things. And this is what would actually earn you basically a Bitcoin like currency, a digital currency. So when I was thinking of this, I was like, there's like no rest for the wicked, right? You got to keep that chip constantly fed with your brain activity, and who knows, maybe it picks up on certain brain activity, so it wants you thinking about certain things and not about other things, and which ties into what was actually being presented at that inoculation presentation about fundamentalist religious folk. So who knows, maybe it can detect such things and it wants you thinking about certain things. It wants to be in there in your private life controlling such things, and it wants to keep you active because there's no rest for the wicked, right? Give you this and you got to keep active. You can't rest because you're working for them now. And if you want to live, then you got to constantly be going at it. Basically turning you into slaves. And while thinking about these things, I remember hearing about this game here. It was basically, I don't know if it's the first, but it was one of the first games developed on Bill Gates' Windows and his Microsoft stuff going on. And in this game, you can find an Easter egg which ties to this right here. I haven't read this site. I don't know all the detail of what it's getting into, but I just wanted to break up the main point that it uses the computer code thing going on here, the ASCII code, to show you that Bill Gates is the B666. It's kind of weird little Easter egg, and it's interesting. At first, when I heard about this, I didn't think anything of it. I was like, yeah, it's just a little gimmick to get people into the computer stuff and try to look for it and play the game and whatnot. But then I was like, well, what is the mark of the beast? Well, it's something that's given to you and you can't buy or sell without it. So apparently you would need this chip from the patent, which is interesting that the patent is 060606, or they just put it here patent 666. And it would be the chip that you can't actually make any money unless you have that chip, because to actually earn currency, you would have to have that chip so that you can accumulate money through your thermal temperature and your brain waves and your heart rate and other such things that have to do with your body. And that's how you get your money and you're able to buy and sell. So I was like, you know what, there's something to this, right? Especially with he wanted to do inoculation to get rid of religious fundamentalism. So you put that all together, it might not mean that Bill Gates is the beast, the Antichrist. It can just be saying that he is the one used to create the mark of the beast 666. And that's what seems to be going on with this fella. So I felt like making the video, putting that stuff together. Felt compelled and inspired to do this. So yeah, just a real brief overview, something for you to look into and think about yourself. But that with being said, thanks for watching and take care.